Welcome to SF Coins channel. Today, we're going to explore some of the most valuable and sought-after coins in the market, specifically the rare 1-cent wheat penny coins from the United States of America that have become major players in the coin collecting world. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. It really helps support the channel and keeps the coin. These rare treasures are not just pieces of history. Let's get started. First up, number 1. In the 1941 1-cent wheat penny from the United States of America, at first glance, it might seem like just another old copper coin. But look closer, and you begin to feel the weight of its historical soul. This coin isn't just copper and zinc. It's a time capsule from a nation on the brink of World War II, a symbol of resilience, and for some, a golden ticket to unimaginable fortune. Hidden among ordinary pockets and dusty drawers, the 1941 wheat penny holds the potential to transform lives overnight. The design alone carries a powerful nostalgia. With Abraham Lincoln's iconic profile on the front and 2 elegant wheat stalks framing the 1 cent on the reverse, this coin whispers an America grounded in hard work and unity. But not all 1941 wheat pennies are created equal. Certain rare varieties, especially those with mint errors, double dyes, or unusual compositions, have become the holy grail of numismatics. These anomalies, barely visible to the untrained eye, are what can launch the value of this single cent into the stratosphere, sometimes even into the millions. For the fortunate few who own one, that penny is no less than a ticket to overnight wealth. What truly makes the 1941 wheat penny so sought after is not just its age or design, but its story. Minted during a time when the world was teetering on the edge of chaos, these coins were part of everyday American life, used to buy bread, newspapers, and wartime stamps. They passed through the hands of soldiers, farmers, and factory workers. So when you hold a 1941 penny, you're holding a piece of American history, a coin that witnessed an era of global transformation. Its real value is not only in its rarity, but in the stories it carries, the souls it touched, and the legacy it preserved. But the true magic begins when one discovers an error coin from that year. A 1941 wheat penny struck on the wrong metal planchet, or one with a double date or lettering, becomes a dazzling anomaly, an accident that makes it 1 in a million. Coin dealers and collectors from across the world scour estate sales, flea markets, and coin shops hoping to uncover such treasures. If authenticated, these special pieces can command staggering sums at auctions, sometimes up to hundreds of thousands or even millions depending on their condition and rarity. The kind of money that turns a modest collector into an overnight billionaire. Owning a valuable 1941 wheat penny isn't just about having a rare object. It's about joining an elite club of discoverers, guardians of forgotten treasure that carries both financial and historical weight. It's like finding a Van Gogh in your attic or stumbling across a first edition Shakespeare tucked in an old library. The coin becomes a conversation starter, a headline grabber, and a personal legend. People don't just admire the coin, they marvel at the person lucky enough to have found it. Your name could be written next to a coin that breaks all records. Yet, the true test is not in finding the coin, but in recognizing its worth. Too many people mistake these rare pennies as common change and spend them without a second thought. That's where the tragedy lies. Fortunes lost in the shuffle, destinies rewritten by ignorance. If you have a 1941 wheat penny, examine it carefully. Check the date, the mint mark, the condition. If it shows signs of unusual features, don't rush to sell it cheap. This could be the key to changing your life in a way few things can. Treat it with respect, get it praised, and guard it like the treasure it is. There's something poetic about a coin designed to be passed from hand to hand, ending up in the spotlight. It reminds us that even the smallest things can carry enormous power. In the palm of your hand, a single copper coin can outweigh gold. Its value isn't just determined by age or scarcity, but by mystery, history, and the insatiable human desire to discover the rare and the remarkable. That's why the 1941 wheat penny continues to rise in value. It's not just a coin, it's a legend. So if you're lucky enough to stumble upon a 1941 wheat penny, don't be fooled by its small size or weathered appearance. You may be holding the spark that ignites a revolution in your life. That tiny circle of metal could be worth more than your house, your car, and your bank account combined. In the world of numismatics, fortune favors the informed and the observant. Don't let this chance pass you by, because 1 cent can indeed be the beginning of your billion-dollar destiny. The 1946 1-cent wheat penny from the United States of America may look like any ordinary coin worn humble, but it carries a weight far beyond its copper composition. This small token, bearing the proud image of President Abraham Lincoln and the classic wheat stalks on its reverse, is far more than currency. It is a silent witness to a post-war America, a nation rising from the ashes of World War II with hope in its heart and determination in its soul. But what sets this coin apart is not just its history. In certain rare instances, the 1946 wheat penny holds anomalies so rare, so extraordinary, that its value shoots through the roof, transforming a simple piece of pocket change into a priceless artifact that could change your financial destiny overnight. Imagine holding a coin that was struck in error, minted on a leftover planchet from wartime production, or one that carries a mint mark anomaly, doubling in its features, or a hidden flaw only expert eyes can spot. These kinds of minting mistakes, accidental though they may be, have become the fuel of legends in the numismatic world. A 1946 wheat penny with such a rarity could fetch tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some whisper specimens so rare that their worth reaches into the millions. These aren't just rumors. These are possibilities that have been proven by stunned collectors who struck it rich with a single cent. What makes the 1946 penny even more captivating is its timing. It came just after the war ended, during a time of immense transition. The U.S. Mint was shifting materials and processes, and it's during these periods of change that mistakes tend to happen. Rare planchets, off-center strikes, or even double-die errors can occur unnoticed. These errors are what fuel the dreams of collectors. One slight deviation from the standard minting process, and you have in your hand something not just collectible, but utterly unique. And in the world of collecting, uniqueness equals value, and value means life-changing wealth. There have been confirmed cases of 1946 pennies being struck on steel planchets left over from 1943, when the mint briefly used steel instead of copper due to wartime shortages. Finding a 1946 penny made from steel is like finding a diamond in a field of pebbles. It is incredibly rare and potentially worth a fortune. And that's not even counting the demand from collectors worldwide who are willing to outbid each other to add such a miracle to their prized collections. These rare strikes carry both monetary value and the weight of story, a story that only adds to their allure. If you have such a coin sitting quietly in your drawer, you might unknowingly be the owner of a millionaire maker. People often overlook old coins, mistaking them for common relics. But every collector, every enthusiast knows it's the small, overlooked treasures that carry the biggest surprises. That is why the 1946 wheat penny deserves a second glance, because beneath its coppery exterior can lie the power to rewrite your fate forever. The kind of wealth these coins can command is not fiction. It is fact-proven time and again in auction houses and private sales. Many people walk past fortunes without ever realizing it. They spend them on candy, drop them in vending machines, or leave them to rust in forgotten piggy banks. But those who know, those who understand the world of rare coins, are always on the lookout for the one coin that changes everything. And if you hold a 1946 wheat penny with a rare anomaly, you might just have found it. It's not just a collector's piece. It's a symbol of potential, a ticket to the upper echelons of wealth, a door to possibilities that stretch far beyond the imagination. What's more captivating is the mystery. Not all 1946 wheat pennies are valuable, but the thrill lies in the search, the examination, the scrutiny, the hope. It's a modern-day treasure hunt where knowledge is your map, and a magnifying glass is your compass. You don't need a vault of gold to be rich. Sometimes a single coin is enough. And the 1946 wheat penny, with its blend of history, rarity, and potential error variance, is a perfect example of that alchemy of chance and value. So take a moment, dig through that old coin jar, revisit your grandparents' collection, or recheck that odd-looking penny that always stood out from the rest. Because if it's the right one, if it's the 1946 wheat penny with a hidden minting miracle, then you're not just holding 1 cent. You're holding potential for millions. You're holding a passport to a life of ease, security, and legacy. That's the true magic of numismatics, where the tiniest object holds the grandest promise. In the end, the story of the 1946 wheat penny is not just about copper, errors, or dates. It's about the thrill of discovery, the triumph of those who pay attention, and the dream that something so small can lead to something so great. It is proof that treasure still exists in the modern world, not buried in chests, but hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to find it. So don't just spend that penny. Examine it, because inside that circle of metal, your fortune may already be waiting. In the 1944 1-cent wheat penny from the United States of America, this isn't just a relic of a bygone era. It's a secret fortune hiding in plain sight. What makes this small copper coin a billion-dollar ticket isn't just its age or design. It's the mythic rarity of one extraordinary variant, the 1944 steel wheat penny. If you possess one of these rare coins, you may be holding a treasure more valuable than gold, a coin capable of turning your life upside down, in the best way imaginable. The story begins during World War II, a time when copper was so essential for ammunition that the U.S. Mint struck 1943 pennies in steel coated with zinc. But in 1944, the Mint returned to copper coinage. Yet a few steel blanks from the previous year accidentally slipped through cracks and were struck with the 1944 design. The result was an error coin born from war, a beautiful, silvery ghost in a sea of copper. Only a tiny number of these coins have ever been discovered, and each one is a miracle. The sheer rarity makes them one of the most sought-after coins in numismatic history, with valuations skyrocketing into the millions. But the 1944 wheat penny's value doesn't stop at the elusive steel version. Even copper 1944 pennies with certain mint errors, like double die obverse, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets, can fetch thousands. The demand is intense, and the coin community watches every auction with bated breath. There's something electrifying about knowing that a tiny detail, a letter out of place, a line repeated, can turn a 1-cent coin into a small fortune. It's modern alchemy, where the mundane transforms into miraculous in the blink of an eye. Imagine holding one of these coins in your hand, unaware of its life-changing value. It could be tucked away in an old drawer, slipped between couch cushions, or resting quietly in a childhood collection. That unassuming penny, a survivor from the 1940s, could unlock doors to wealth beyond imagination. Stories have surfaced of lucky individuals discovering these rare coins and instantly becoming millionaires. These are not just tales. They're documented, real-world examples of fortune favoring the observant, the curious, and the bold. Collectors across the globe are constantly hunting for this specific penny. Museums crave it, private investors battle for it, and numismatists consider it the crown jewel of American coinage. If your 1944 penny clings to a magnet, you might have the near impossible, steel instead of copper. If it's uncirculated and gleaming with age-defying luster, its value may rise even higher. The idea that something so small and forgotten could create generational wealth is the very reason coin collecting captures the hearts of so many. It's the treasure hunt of the modern age. So before you drop another penny into a vending machine or dismiss old coins as worthless junk, take one last look, especially if that coin is dated 1944. It might just be your miracle in miniature, your ticket to riches beyond reason. Hold it, treasure it, test it, because if it's the right one, you'll go from dreamer to billionaire, not someday, but tonight. The very idea of holding a 1943 1-cent wheat penny from the United States, especially one made of steel, is like gripping a lightning bolt of history in the palm of your hand. This coin isn't just old, it's electrified by legend. During the height of World War II, copper was so vital for making ammunition that the U.S. Mint made an extraordinary decision. Strike pennies not from copper, but from steel coated in zinc. These 1943 steel cents are instantly recognizable, with a silver-gray tone instead of the warm copper hue we associate with pennies. While many were produced, the ones that survived in pristine condition, uncirculated, unblemished, untouched, have now become numismatic powerhouses worth thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now imagine a twist even stranger. The few 1943 wheat pennies that were accidentally struck in copper instead of steel. These are among the rarest coins on Earth. Only a handful have been authenticated, and when they appear at auctions, they send shockwaves to the collector world. One of these copper 1943 pennies once sold for over $1.7 million. That's not fantasy, that's documented fact. If you have such a coin in your possession, it might just be your once-in-a-lifetime miracle, an error born of urgency and wartime chaos. This coin transforms the mundane into the magnificent. People have spent decades searching for it, but only fate decides who finds one. Your coin, if it bears the year 1943 and rings with the charm of age, could potentially carry this otherworldly worth, if it's the right metal, in the right condition, with the right mint mark. Does it stick to a magnet? If not, that's a good sign. The rare copper version won't, and that simple test could be the key that unlocks unimaginable riches. It's the ultimate plot twist. A penny meant for pocket change becomes a prize fit for a king. Holding on to it could mean holding on to the power to change your life overnight. It's no longer just currency. It's a key to an empire. What's even more thrilling is the idea that this tiny object has survived the decades, passed silently from hand to hand, only to land with you. Maybe it's tucked away in an old jar, nestled in a collection you inherited, or waiting to be noticed among flea market finds. Every 1943 wheat penny has a story, but only a few hold the kind of story that ends in vaults, spotlights, and roaring auction rooms. You don't spend a coin like that. You protect it, authenticate it, and then let it work its magic when the time is right. The global coin community keeps its eyes peeled for such treasures. It's a tight-knit world fueled by passion, history, and the eternal dream of discovery. Coin hunters, museums, and billionaires are all watching the markets, waiting for the next steel-to-copper miracle to appear. If you have it, you're holding lightning in your fingertips. Not just a coin, but a moment in time, a burst of history, and a symbol of impossible fortune. So before you dismiss that old penny from 1943, take a long, careful look. You might not just be holding a coin, you might be gripping the handle of destiny itself. Because this isn't just a piece of metal. It's a mystery, a miracle, and maybe, just maybe, your first $1 billion waiting to awaken.